Welcome to the 6 Miles to Supper podcast. I'm your host, Kayla Cox, and I've lost over 80 pounds with intermittent fasting 6 days a week, eating whatever I wanted at my meals, taking a cheat day every Sunday, and walking 6 miles a day. And I'm here to help you on your weight loss journey. In today's episode, we're going to talk about maintaining motivation when you're intermittent fasting. Now, the thing about the weight loss journey is that it takes a long time. For example, right now, if you're just starting out on the weight loss journey and you have a significant amount of weight to lose, I would say it's probably going to take you a year or more to get the weight off. And really, even if you've only got a little bit of weight left to lose, maybe you are near a normal BMI, it takes a really long time to lose that amount of weight too. It's all about long-term thinking, and staying motivated over a long stretch of time is challenging. And I've had plenty of challenges with staying motivated throughout this weight loss journey, especially from 2014, when I've had enough moment. I had a really hard time keeping motivated. A lot of times I would start and then quit. I would just lose motivation. And what I did find, though, was that there was one thing that when I finally did it, it helped me stay motivated consistently. And look, I still have my days where I just kind of feel like I have a lack of motivation. I find myself thinking, do I really want to get my steps in today? Or do I really want to practice intermittent fasting today? But ultimately, I do stay pretty consistently motivated. And the thing that has helped me is to know and stay focused on my why. You'll find that during the weight loss journey, you're going to have lots of days where you're going to ask yourself, why am I even doing this anyway? Tons of frustrating things happen on the weight loss journey itself. Things like plateaus or body image issues. Plus, life touches your weight loss journey. The thing is, everything touches. If your marriage is going through a rough time, that makes the weight loss journey more difficult and it's harder to find motivation. Or maybe it's something with your work or with your kids. But if you know your why, then you can remind yourself the deep reasons why it's important to you to take the actions that are necessary every day to continue on the weight loss journey. And right now, if you don't really know your why, I would encourage you to sit down and journal it out. When I finally did this, and I got really honest with myself, because in the beginning, my reasons for wanting to lose weight were more vain. It was just more about the physical appearance, and I didn't really dig into it with myself about why I wanted to lose weight. And it was just hard to maintain motivation when it was just about the superficial things. But when I finally got down deeper with it, it gave me more motivation. I realized I was holding myself back in my life. I wasn't putting myself out there. My world was kind of getting smaller and smaller. I would say no to opportunities that were presented to me because I was ashamed of where my weight was. I didn't feel confident. I also realized my weight was affecting my relationships with my kids because I was cranky. I was in a bad mood a lot because of my weight. And I started to see I wasn't able to keep up with them. If we went out somewhere, like a theme park or something, I was chafing and I was sweating and I was basically miserable. And that's not good. So by keeping those deep whys at the forefront of my mind on those days where I would think to myself, well, do I really want to get my steps in today? I would remind myself, yes, you do, because the reason you're doing this is to have a better life with your kids, to have a better relationship, to be able to live your life more fully. But even after you've come up with your why, you will find that you will sometimes feel discouraged. The key is to dig into that and figure out what's going on. One big reason for not feeling motivated is if you aren't getting results. Results are really motivating usually. So if that's your problem, then ask yourself what's going on. A common reason that you're not getting results is that you're not being consistent. Or it might be that you truly are having results, but you're not tracking, so you don't really know what your results are. It might be that you're afraid to weigh, and so you're not getting on the scale, and so then you're not really able to tell, is the thing working? So if that's your problem, you need to get consistent and then also track your results consistently. consistently. Another common source of feeling low motivation, like you maybe just don't want to continue to stick with intermittent fasting, is that it's just not a good fit for your life. Maybe your schedule just doesn't work well with the window that you've picked for yourself, or maybe it just doesn't work well with intermittent fasting at all. That's something that you'll have to sit down and look at. Be sure to focus on your own temperament and your own preferences, and then work out a plan based on that. And many times there's just a small little tweak here or there that can make a plan that once seemed kind of unbearable to very doable. And I think this comes down to a lot of soul searching. The question you need to ask yourself is, do you like intermittent fasting? And if the answer is no, I really kind of hate it, then stop intermittent fasting. I know that there's this tendency to think that, well, if this thing worked for this person, whatever's popular at the time, then that's what I should do. And that's like the only way to lose weight. But that's just not true. Really, all the different diet plans out there work. All the eating plans work if you follow them. The question is, what can you follow? And there are different parts of the weight loss journey where it's common to feel some low motivation. Now, if you're having trouble getting started losing weight, just taking the first few steps to just do the plan, it could be that deep down inside, you're actually happy where you're at with your weight. And again, when you're going through that process of trying to find your why, if you can't really figure out your why, it could just be that you are at a good weight, or that you are satisfied wherever you're at with your weight at your current place in life. You're okay with this. And I want to just say, give yourself permission to be okay with that. It's a personal choice where you feel the best with your weight. Some people feel better at a higher weight. Some people feel better at a lower weight. I personally found that about the time where I got to the low end of the overweight BMI, I was feeling great. I was feeling good about my body. And, even though I lost weight past that over time, there's not a big difference there between, that low end of overweight for me and the just being in the normal BMI. And I've been in the normal BMI for a couple of years now, but to me, there just really hasn't been that big of a difference. Another reason why sometimes motivation is difficult in the beginning is because deep down, you're afraid of change. Change is painful. We really don't know. What is it going to be like doing the plan day in, day out? And you really don't know what it will be like at your goal weight. You can guess, but we really don't know. And there is this sense of change happening, and it can be difficult to get the motivation when you're scared. But again, if you go back to your why, it can clarify for you that there are good reasons to want to change and to do the things that are necessary. Now, an interesting thing that can happen is that you start to lose motivation as you start to lose weight. And this can be kind of a baffling thing, because you think, wait, I know that I want to lose weight and I'm losing weight. So now why do I feel unmotivated? And this is a good learning opportunity. And I would say that if you're experiencing that, there's always a reason why. And a common thing that can happen for some women is that in the past, they've had a traumatic event related to getting unwanted attention. And so once they start to lose weight, they're afraid that will happen again, that they will receive unwanted attention. And the woman thinks, well, I would rather just not get that attention at all. And if you find that that's what's happening to you, you're losing motivation as you're being successful with weight loss, then I would encourage you to talk that out with someone you love, or a counselor or therapist, someone who can help you work through it. Lack of motivation can also strike after you hit your goal weight and you're in maintenance. The thing about maintenance is it's for the rest of your life, and that's a really long time. So keeping that motivation is a challenge. But again, revisiting your why. Why was it that you lost weight in the first place? Well, now that's why you need to keep it off, is because you don't want to go back to that, right? The thing is, you may find that the day you hit your goal weight, you'll see that the thing that you thought would be solved by losing weight isn't solved. Like, for example, you might still have problems in your marriage, or you might still have problems at work, or you might have a lot of body image issues to deal with. And that can be really frustrating to realize there's still lots of things to work through, even though you're at your goal weight. And sometimes what can happen is because we don't want to deal with those other issues, we can start to kind of put the weight on so that we can then focus back on getting the weight back off. But I would encourage you that while you're going through the weight loss journey, to be working on all the areas simultaneously, to get in the habit of taking action on all the areas of your life that you see you can improve. Just little steps here or there, little tweaks you can make to, make your marriage better, to make your body image better, or to help your relationship with your kids. But if you find yourself maintaining your weight loss, but then starting to lose your motivation to continue intermittent fasting, I want to encourage you that's okay. That's a common thing that happens. Sometimes what happens is people are, say, doing OMAD, right? They're doing OMAD, they're losing weight, it's all good. And then they get down to their goal weight and they say, wait a minute, I want to eat 2 meals a day now, or I want to go back to eating 3 meals a day now that I'm down at my goal weight. And I want to encourage you that it's all doable. It's important to be honest with yourself. I think the issue that happens is that people kind of get entrenched in thinking like, I can never ever change. You can always change. It will take trial and error though. And it will take, continuing to track and continuing to experiment and see what your results are. And then negotiating with yourself to figure out what is that right balance. For me personally, I still love intermittent fasting. I continue to practice some form of it, but I can tell you from experience that I have gone through times during maintenance where I simply do not want to do OMAD, but I kind of felt this pressure to continue to do OMAD because I thought, well, that's how I lost the weight. I wasn't really sure. Could I continue to maintain if I went back to doing something like a 16-8 or doing 2 meals a day? And what I've found is, again, it's trial and error. Sometimes the weight may go up a bit. But again, for me, it's about saying, okay, well, would I rather be at, a little bit higher of a weight, but doing, this plan that I want to do, or would I rather be at, this lower weight, but do something that maybe I don't really feel the motivation to do anymore? And for me, the thing that wins out every time is what I can continue to do that I feel good at, that I do not feel resentful about. And that helps me keep my motivation. So remember, if you are feeling like you're lacking motivation, I want you to know that's normal. Everybody goes through it. Everybody has times where things feel tough, or it's a grind, basically. But if you focus on the why, always asking why, that is such a powerful question. It can help you get to the root of your motivations, and it can also help you get to the root of whatever the problems are that you're having that are causing the lack of motivation. So thank you for joining me in this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update on the fundraiser for the 2 pediatric bubble CPAP machines for Elwa Hospital in Liberia. The project is now 81% funded, so now there's $980 left to go. If you have donated to this project, thank you so much for your help. And if you haven't donated but would like to, the link is in the show notes. Your donation will help save dozens of lives every month. Together we can do this. Do you want to lose the weight without getting rid of the foods you love and that you'll go back to eating again anyway? My book, The Laid Back Guide to Intermittent Fasting, teaches you how to practice intermittent fasting so that you lose the weight sustainably and keep it off for good. You can get the audiobook read by me for free when you sign up for your 30-day trial of Audible. The link is in the show notes.